Bump, bump. All right. My name is Brandon Walker. This is Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show, where we talk gambling and everything else. It is the day after week 1 of college football wrapped up, and I would like to congratulate this show. There's not a single college football gambler here that wasn't positive units this weekend. So congratulations. The entire show is up 32 units together. So if you took everything, which I know there's some overlap, but let's say hypothetically you took everything, you'd be up a lot of money right now. And it's going to turn, and pro football is coming this week, and it's going to stink. You okay?
Yeah.
You want to get settled?
It's just weird. There's not a lot of fucking lever with that.
All you got to do is you loosen that thing right there. No, that's not it. On the backside. It's tough.
I'll live.
Yeah. Your government man can figure it out. All right, Smitty's here. Marty Mush is here. Big Ev is here. I'm here. Ben Menz is here. Rico Bosco is here. He'll be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday this week.
Picking it up for the holidays.
Squeezing the 3 days in, despite the fact that you took one of your main days away.
Gotta work.
That's impressive.
Today's double bubble, like Jerry says.
Jerry.
Today's overtime.
That guy.
His last tweet to me was just.
What did he tweet at you?
Because I had White Sox Dave on Mush the Lion being like, "Hey, are you a crackhead?"
Yeah.
And Jersey Jerry just literally was just like, 1 sec, really fast. He's like, as a former crack smoker, this is very interesting.
Gotta stay up through those double shifts somehow.
And you kind of wonder how long ago is the former. Like, I could see Jersey Jerry quitting crack like Tuesday.
No. 6 years clean.
6 years clean.
Give the guy
Good
credit.
for him.
I didn't realize you knew that.
Well, I talk to my coworkers. I don't
Do you?
ostracize them.
Yeah. Do you? Okay. That's how we're starting on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. The show is up 32 units college football. We can talk college football. We can talk pro football. It's all coming at us. You can hear my voice. I'm just very, very, very tired. I went hiking with Tommy 2 days ago up in the mountains, a 2-mile hike, and I've been wrecked ever since.
I was gonna say that's what you're tired from.
That's what I'm tired from. I'm absolutely just done. Because it's all fun. The hike in was like all downhill. I'm like, this is nice, Tommy. Look at this. Look at these views. Look at this. We turned around, came back. Haven't recovered.
Did Tommy ask to go?
Tommy loves going hiking.
And it's amazing. I know you're talking about your son, but I just in my head am picturing Tommy Smokes.
Yeah. I think I'd take Tommy hiking sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta let him
Brandon
out.
and Tommy Smoke just holding hands
Yeah.
through the woods.
Yeah. And that would be a perfectly acceptable thing for Tommy Smokes to do.
I'm treating him like my son. You know, I'm getting on to him for picking up sticks. You know, shit like that. Don't get too close to the edge. Boy, it's terrifying. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm all right.
I have 2 things real quick. Number 1, we have a security guard in the lobby right here, right now, who's the most intimidating person
I think
I've ever
like
seen.
him.
Hey,
I love
Should
him.
have seen our other one.
The other one was I'm not sure about him.
I'm ready for this. This guy's just been pacing the entire morning. I'm just ready for him to ragdoll somebody.
We need to get a desk for
I think
him.
he's waiting to ragdoll
Exactly.
Well, we just put the camera on him. I think he's about to kill us.
That's what he's been doing all day.
What if this is a long con and these are the guys who want to kill us?
Yeah,
security guys.
For sure.
We're in trouble.
The last guy, Brandon, you could have ran away from him.
No, the last. let's,
When was he here? I didn't see
Friday. He was. I assume he's in the regular rotation, so I'm not going to hate on him. He's my guy. He's my guy.
I want my security teams to have like a logo though.
Yeah, I agree.
Did this guy
Like
though?
Big Ev security.
This
Like,
guy was
fucking
probably
give me
told
something.
not to come in military garb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's ready to rock. Number 2,
Staying
you're
limber.
not even giving a shout out to the greatest college football gambler of all time,
Who?
Ange. And I say this without.
Because I don't know. I wasn't
say-
here the day y'all had her on. I really don't know her.
I say this
Just say I
without
wasn't there
exaggeration or hyperbole. She might be from the fucking future, or getting some sort of like early edition Kyle Chandler thing going on. She went 11-1, and the Rice game should have covered.
Yeah, that was
she should have went
her
12-0.
That's insane.
That's pretty impressive.
It's insane.
It's outrageous.
And she threw in she had like Delaware minus 8.
She had Delaware minus 8.
Yeah.
Fighting Blue Hands.
Dominant. Well, I was telling Mush we were talking about it earlier, and like I took JMU.
What's going on with you?
We got a good DM. It's not worth. Stay with the show. It's a side thing.
Okay. All right. Look at that. She went. I mean, and
You take Delaware, Villanova, or JMU.
and that's not favorites either. I mean, she took Virginia Tech. She took Penn State.
Took Wake. Good pick.
Okay.
UCF,
Texas good pick.
Skin,
I mean, the
NC
Penn
State, great
State.
pick.
Rice was right. Rice is the right
A
side.
couple of them got scary.
Rice
but, I mean,
was
11-1 is 11-1.
Rice was absolutely the right side.
Yeah.
But
Arkansas
you
got
could
lucky.
say, all right, give her Rice, but then Pitt was close.
Boise under.
Wake was close.
Boise Central Florida
Boise
under. Yeah, that
that's
was a wild
3. So even it out.
All right.
But even that.
What do you mean even it out? She still went.
She went to 11-1.
No.
You don't even anything out when somebody goes 11-1.
Three close wins and 1 close loss. It finds an average. Give her
right.
2-2. Still 10-2.
Still very, very, very impressive.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So college football. We talked about Big Ev's team on Friday. I guess we'll talk about your team later. I'll let you have your moment because they did look impressive.
Hell yeah, we did.
Who's the not okay? You beat Louisville. Okay.
Yeah, but pitched a shutout first half. I mean,
Yeah,
Ole Miss's defense hadn't shut anybody out since before time.
This room right here would be 2.5-point dogs to Louisville right now. But anyway,
Still a hell of an effort, though, man. Still big improvement. Very happy.
whatever. You didn't. We had a massive comeback. Biggest comeback in
Yeah,
school history.
both schools are 1-0.
Both schools are 1-0.
Both schools
It's
are
fine.
1-0.
It's fine. Both schools are 1-0. Nobody wants to see two midgets arguing over who's the tallest. Okay, this is
Little
As
people.
long as you give me my moment.
not interesting to anybody else but us. Okay,
love
I'm not
it.
giving you your fucking moment.
I love NC State.
I thought
I
you
know
said
it's
it was.
such a rat.
Didn't you walk in here saying it was a trap?
It's definitely a trap.
It's a trap. I like
Sometimes
it.
I think I could get the cheese out before I get my hand cracked. I think it's. I
Oh,
like NC State a lot.
I walk into traps a lot.
There's
So what?
a lot of traps this week.
What was what's the number one story coming out of college football this weekend? Who was the most impressive?
Don't ever go against Bama week 1 anymore, ever.
No, that was dumb.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't go against them. I took the over, which should have hit, because I did think Miami was going to score some, and they got stuffed on the goal line too. But I mean, it's just Bama. It's insane. It's a different level.
I told you, they lost everybody. Well, it doesn't matter. Their best recruits. It doesn't matter. They're going to start and they're going to be unbelievable. Young looks unreal, and it's like, oh well, Miami's not that. Miami was ranked 14th in the country for like a reason. They thought they had their upside.
The reason is they thought they had upside.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. They thought there was upside, but the Alabama should have won by like 60. There were so many more opportunities. But I do want to bring that up now because this is interesting as shit. So Georgia wins, right?
Yeah, great defensive effort, too.
So if they lose to Alabama
Right.
in the end, they have 1 loss. Alabama's undefeated.
Right.
Then you got fucking Clemson with 1 loss.
Right.
And then you have Oklahoma, who the hell knows after that game. But I think that was a little bit of a fluke. It's gonna be there's gonna be 5 teams. There's no other team's gonna come close to football. To play.
Yeah, I that's very, very possibly true. I mean, as far as odds go, there were 5 teams, and there was a gigantic gap from like plus some 1,200 like to plus 5,000 or something, just ridiculous. I didn't get the numbers right, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think if that's interesting, if Ohio State gets in, you assume they will. Oklahoma, I agree with you. That was kind of fluky. Alabama, and then if it's down to 1 loss Georgia and 1 loss Clemson, Georgia gets in, right?
You have to.
Has to.
Yeah.
Georgia gets
Has to. What's the point of playing the game?
Clemson would win
about-
the ACC, but the ACC looks garbage.
What about undefeated Cincinnati
That, too.
with a 10-point win over Notre Dame?
That's another fly in the ointment.
I really don't think so.
Okay.
I think with all
I
that,
think
I think
Cincinnati
they'll
could
just
get
be. I don't see it.
We also don't know.
As much as I want them to get a fair shake, I just don't.
Even as
when
mo-
push comes to shove, I just don't see it.
Wouldn't you want? And it's people are gonna be like, no, because it's created by the Power 5. They don't want to share the money. But don't they want to put in a Power 5 team one time and say, all right, you know what?
Group of 5 team.
Group of 5 team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, non-Power 5. Group of 5 team. Hey, you've been crying. You know what? All right, come in. Beat the fuck out of them, and then we never have to hear it again. It's like a win-win for them. If they truly believe that the non-Power 5 doesn't deserve to be in, let him in one time, beat the fuck out of him, and then we'll never think about it. You would never hear from it again.
What a reward that would be to finally get in as a number 4 seed and play undefeated Alabama.
Yeah.
Right. They know they're setting them up for a disaster.
And it would, but listen, it wouldn't be any more of a blowout than what Alabama's been doing to other
Yeah,
teams.
Notre
Exactly.
Dame, Washington, Michigan
Well,
State.
Ohio State
just,
last year, yeah.
just
With
so
what-
many through the
with
years.
what you say about Cincy, though, it's Indiana looked like awful.
Indiana's the biggest
against
fraud that ever frauded.
Iowa, and so that's a not really that good of a win for them anymore. And then Notre Dame, honestly, I have no idea if they're good or bad. I'm not sure if Florida State.
I think
is
Notre
bad.
Dame's probably worse than you think. I don't think they're good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that game just kind of like was. It shouldn't have been that close. I don't
They
think
need
Florida State's that-
UCF. Do they play him in the regular season? Or
Yeah,
are they-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they need UCF, and then they need UCF again probably in the AAC final to get like another good win. But that it's again like Marty's saying, yeah, it's like college basketball. Like Gonzaga loaded up early on those wins, and it's like, oh, they beat this ranked team. It's like, hey, after 12 years, after 12 weeks, they're not ranked. So like that, what you thought was a good win is really not.
Ain't gonna be ranked.
I'll tell you one thing.
Indiana is that was
garbage.
I love Tom Allen. That was all of last year. Sneaky wins, lucky wins.
I'll tell you one thing about college football. That Notre Dame Florida State game was fucking beautiful.
Magical.
Awesome. Everything about it was incredible. The crowd. I want Florida State to be good again. Like everything about it. Now, what's lost in that is Mike Norvell was fucking awful.
Oh.
He was garbage. The two Wildcats and then going for it. And then the fact that when McKenzie comes in, they're just a completely different offense, and he didn't recognize that sooner. McKenzie Milton comes in the second quarter. They win that game by 10 points.
He just was able to get the ball out of his hands fast, which Travis was doing these things I tweeted, like he was giving me like Winston on the Bucks vibes, where he would do something that was incredible.
Right. Like
he'd make that dime throw, he'd make that crazy scramble throw, a touchdown pass, but then he would just throw the worst pass you've ever seen. He'd hold on the ball too long. I'm curious to see what they do. I wouldn't be shocked if they just started Travis again.
No, I think Milton has to start.
I hope so. Like I think that's the right play, but I
Fan
wouldn't be
base
shocked.
will riot.
He has that it factor.
The thing about Jordan Travis is I felt like every single snap looked like a broken play with him.
Yes,
out there.
for sure.
He always just freaked out as soon as because
He was tap dancing the whole first
the
half.
pass rush didn't look nearly as bad when Milton was just calmly standing there in the pocket. And Jordan Travis didn't know how to do that. It made the pass rush look worse than it was, or look even better than it was. McKenzie Milton was, and listen, this guy almost lost his leg 3 years ago. Almost lost his leg.
That's the only thing I have is like, do you think they held him a little bit? They didn't want to throw him right into the deep end. If he was messed, I get it. He's obviously a better option.
Yeah.
But like right away, and he takes a shot or. He's not as fast as you think, and then it's like, all right, well, we set this kid up for disaster.
Yeah, if you're not prepared to play him, don't have him on the team. If you're not prepared to play him, why even go through the charade of getting him?
I see week one. I see. Like,
I just felt like they weren't confident in their offensive line, and they thought they'd rather have the more mobile guy. That's what it seemed like to me, at least out of the gate.
Right.
They were more comfortable with a bad offensive line. Put the guy that can run. And just let them see what happens.
No, they're going to have to go what Virginia does with their passing quarterback, Brendan Armstrong, and then their Swiss Army knife, Keaton Thompson. They got two quarterbacks, but they use one as a weapon. They use one as a quarterback. And that would work very well at Florida State because Jordan Travis can run.
Yeah, for sure.
He's fantastic. If they put him back there in packages, Taysom Hill packages, they got something. But it was just nice to see Florida State and Notre Dame on a big stage. The crowd was electric. Everything was fantastic. I just thought the whole weekend crowds were like stealing the show.
I was going to say, Brandon, I think that was the biggest story of week one was the fans back in stands and the atmospheres, actually.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Well, that being said, isn't Georgia going through the virus uptick?
I saw that on
Yeah,
the
I think they said like three or four guys.
When's that going to start having to affect the actual games and lines?
I don't want to worry about that.
I don't either, but it's already been reported.
I would like to pretend it doesn't exist. If you're okay with that.
No, I'm not. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, it's just Georgia. It's not one of the likable teams.
There you go.
They were to win it all. You gotta like Georgia.
And I still do. Boy, they're going to be. And people are acting like, Clemson and Georgia don't have offense. No, they just ran into two top five defenses. Two unbelievable defenses that didn't give up a touchdown. These offenses will both be in the top 40 by the end of the season. They're both going to be very good. And Georgia can win the national title. That Georgia team I saw can beat Alabama.
Yep.
Period.
The defense, Jordan Davis just caused so many problems in that interior line, and then Nakobe Dean off the edge. I mean, Clemson, DJ obviously struggled and nobody did anything, but it was a full team effort. They couldn't block. They couldn't separate. I mean, there was literally no hope. It seemed like there were 20 defenders on the field.
Yeah, it looked like Georgia knew their plays. It looked like
It's like Tecmo Bowl when you're a kid when you
What
pick
was
their
the over
play,
under that game? It wasn't like
50.
40?
Worst pick of the worst pick of the week. That over right
Hand
here,
up.
right here.
Yeah.
What was what's 99's name?
Jordan. That's Jordan.
Yeah.
That guy was a monster.
No, he just whenever you have a
Monster.
defensive tackle that can dominate the interior on that, it's just kryptonite for offenses, man. I mean, it just
sucked.
you can't do anything when you get that interior.
But they're 2 steps faster than everybody at every position.
That game was awful.
That game was fantastic.
Yeah, that was
I
great.
I hate that.
I
You don't
love
like a
that.
defensive struggle?
10-3.
I think it's like a lost art.
Especially when you have
You both
Clemson,
tell me that-
and you know that there's no chance.
Yeah,
that they're gonna be able to score a
exactly. That's
touchdown.
probably why I hate it
Yeah.
more. But like, also, it's like, yeah, they have good offenses, but like, it was none at all. And I know their defenses are that good. I understand, but it's like Alabama has a really fucking good defense too. You know what I mean?
They got a very good defense. I'd say those two, and then Alabama, and then maybe Texas A&M, the top 5 defenses, and then you add in I don't know who's going to be the
What
other
a
one.
cover that was.
Maybe Iowa State. Texas A&M was a gambler's. I mean, that was
insane.
They missed
field goal.
They missed two field goals.
25-yarders in the last 3.5 minutes.
And maybe shouldn't have gotten an opportunity to kick the last one because they gave him a punt fumble where maybe it didn't touch the guy. They didn't review it. It was just a wild finish to that game.
I had that over too as a loss.
The biggest fraud, the biggest teams we talked about. We talked about Indiana, but the biggest frauds of the weekend got to be Indiana, North Carolina, and LSU. We'll start with LSU. I don't know why you didn't see that coming. You wanted to believe something that wasn't there. That played out exactly like people told you it was going to play out.
I'll eat crow publicly on this. The defense, Durante Jones, the defense was out of position just like last year.
Yeah.
Like they're
not a well.
I bought into the fool's gold that like getting rid of Bo Pelini had to be a positive, but it was the same mistakes. I mean, literally people are running free everywhere. People are missing assignments, and also I want to mention. This is an old fallacy in college football. It's like just because people come back and you have a lot of returning starters, if they weren't good, then maybe that doesn't matter. Like the offensive and defensive lines, UCLA manhandled them in the trenches completely, both sides. LSU couldn't run the ball. UCLA ran it down their throat. I thought LSU would be able to compete more there. I was wrong. I mean, I was completely wrong. How good do you think UCLA is, Brandon?
I think they're probably okay, a little better than
an
average.
8-win team.
That wasn't a great win for them. It's only a good win because somebody stuck a number by LSU and they didn't deserve it. They're 5-6 since they won a national title. Listen, 2019, 2 years ago, LSU had the greatest season in college football history, and that was because of Joe Brady. It's because of Dave Aranda. It was because of Joe Burrow. It's because of those receivers. The guy who gets the credit for it and is still there did nothing. And we spent a year pretending that Ed Orgeron was a good coach, and he's just not. He's a bad football coach. Ever since all that talent and all that coaching talent left, he's just sitting there holding the bag, and he walks in with that stupid video, oh, bring your sissy blue shirts, and he got his ass whipped. You can't say sissy blue shirts and then go out there with the softest football team on the field.
What?
They went to a Pac-12 team and got physically dominated with 5 stars all over their roster. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I think the O thing, because he's not really a specialist in offense or defense, he's like as good as his coordinators. And when you have Dave Aranda and Joe Brady, you're at the national championship level. But since then, you look at all the other coordinator hires. He bombed with Matt Canada, bombed with Linehan, bombed with Bo Pelini. If those coordinator hires aren't good, then it's a problem.
What you're saying if the
I'm saying I was wrong.
If the coordinator hires aren't good, then he's not a good coach because he's not a good coach. I mean, like if you have to ace your coordinator hires and have the best coordinators in the country, you're not a very good football coach. And that's what he is. And people, for whatever reason, believed that he wasn't. For whatever reason, they thought, oh, they're going to be good. You know who else? I had Washington winning the Pac-12, which I guess could still happen.
Score.
But my God, lost to Montana.
I mean, it's like not a joke, but like the Big Sky.
Big Sky covered every game.
Undefeated against the spread.
Undefeated against the spread,
with a fucking outright win to a top. That's the other thing too. Washington is the top 20 team. When are we going to go away with these fucking rankings?
Great.
I don't want to go away with preseason rankings. I love the fact that
they're talking points.
I love the fact that we have teams that get exposed. I love the fact that we're able to
because it
make
hurts,
fun of stupid voters.
It hurts a team like let's say a group of 5. Let's say UCF or UFC was
UCF.
UCF was fucking. I always mix those up. UCF was 22.
Yeah.
They have to jump ahead of Washington. And then let's say there's another like SEC team who there always is who goes fucking 7-5 and gets ranked. Why does UCF have to jump this many teams when they were bad to begin with?
Well, the cream's
to get a shot at the top 5, top 10.
The cream's going to rise to the top.
Fair enough.
It's going to sort itself out.
The fact that you have to jump all these teams in the polls is fucked up.
No,
Ranks is just for TV.
What?
It's like to have like people to watch it. Like people love a little number next to the name. They don't. Give
I
a
think
fuck.
the guys who are gonna watch like we do nonstop for the entire day know who's gonna be good and who's bad. You're right. I guess it
but
appeals
the casual,
to the
it's more
casual.
So like they could hype up a team like Oregon, who we might suck, and they're 11 against number 2 this year.
Right.
Or this against Ohio State.
But the fallacy that is preseason rankings, I mean, it's going to help UCLA a lot. UCLA, that win over LSU is a win over a 500 team,
That's true.
but it looks like a win over a top 15 team.
Well, that's the other part of the problem I have too. That shouldn't. If LSU turns out to be a bad team, UCLA does not get points for that win.
Yeah, we never go back and retroactively.
they never retroactively do it.
Yeah, we never do that.
I feel like they do a little bit.
Not as much as they should.
I feel like the end of the year resume, when you look at it, you go, this LSU team, not great. This team, not great. Like I feel like maybe not like in the middle of the season. I feel like that final resume, they give it a thorough look.
Yeah, so there was LSU, UCLA, Indiana, of course. They go to Iowa and not only get beat, just get treated like an FCS team.
Penix is awful.
Penix is not a top 50 quarterback in the country. He is terrible. And they were. I knew they were fake, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. I didn't know 34-6. Iowa can't score 34 points.
I thought they'd be able to put up 14. I mean, Jesus.
Do you have any doubt they'll still pick somebody off though with an upset?
Who are they going to get? They can't. They don't have the offense to beat Ohio State.
Their defense isn't bad. Like they scored a lot of those points that Iowa scored, where it was a pick six, like short fields on turnovers.
Yeah.
Like their defense actually held up pretty solid. Their offense is just terrible.
Fair enough, but Tom Allen just gets guys going, and Indiana is a Kansas State team that nails somebody ranked. I don't think they could beat Ohio State. I'm just saying.
Well, look at their options here. Look at their options. So they got Indiana's going to play Cincinnati at home. I guess that's probably their best bet because they're not beating Ohio State.
No.
They're not beating Penn State on the road.
No, especially after last year.
Yeah, not after last year.
And maybe they catch Michigan on a down week.
All right, so then their schedule is not favorable to my argument. But you would say Indiana is one of those teams, right?
No, now listen. The schedule, I mean, Cincinnati losing at Indiana is not the craziest thing we've ever heard. I mean, it'll be a defensive war. Cincinnati's probably going to win, but that's who I would assign them to knock off.
Yeah, I just always keep in the back of my head the spoiler teams. It just seems like it's always year in, year out, same spoiler teams.
And
I couldn't be more distracted by our security guard.
Yeah,
He has been pacing.
man.
He went to the door, looked at it, goes back. Look at him. He just. I'm so.
That's what you want. It's robotic.
I like
It's
it. Yeah, but I'm.
T390X over there.
Get him a desk.
somebody says SEC is not the best football conference. I'm not sure what you saw, but ACC is terrible.
Yeah, SEC 97-40 in the 3 games. Bama over Miami, Georgia over Clemson, Ole Miss over Louisville, and that's the number 1 SEC against number 1 ACC. Georgia Clemson's a superpower game. Bama's number 1 against Miami's 2 or 3 ACC, and
Ole Miss is
Louisville,
like 10,
number 6.
yeah.
Like 6 against Louisville was probably 8 or 9.
Did Georgia Tech lose to
Northern Illinois?
Illinois.
Yeah. The Jeff Collins experiment.
Duke lost to Charlotte.
Vanderbilt
Called that one.
Vanderbilt got destroyed by East Tennessee State.
Vandy's hard there.
I know they're terrible, but you lose to East Tennessee State 23-3.
Yeah, 3 points, man.
Washington. Who did Washington State lose to?
They lost to Utah State.
Yeah, and
Utah
then
State.
Washington lost to Montana. And Washington, I legitimately thought was going to be a 10-win team.
Iowa State looked like shit too. But I mean, that's a look ahead. They do that at week 1 every year.
Yeah,
Peek ahead.
Get it right.
Would peek ahead.
And they do that every week 1 a lot. They've struggled against Northern Iowa.
They
They've
have.
struggled against South Dakota State.
They lost outright
They lost
to ULL.
They're weird with that, and they play Iowa week 2 every year, which is like a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And so that's something to remember. Go against Iowa State week 1 every year. We missed that.
Louisiana Lafayette was such a trendy
It was
underdog.
too much.
And I hit
Party
it
was on
last
that.
year. I fucking jumped on what an idiot.
And everyone's always down. What do you think about Texas then?
Hold on. Texas, pretty good. They should have beat ULL. They look all right. Robinson's unbelievable.
Defense was way improved.
What do we think? Texas is only 6.5 at Arkansas? What am I missing?
That's a weird one there.
What am I missing?
That's a weird one there.
Well, if you want to talk about a peek ahead, then you can look at Arkansas probably because they were down. They didn't play well. They got Texas next week, and that is a massive game to those people. Arkansas and Texas is a rivalry that goes back generations.
6.5 though. They needed luck to beat fucking Rice.
Yeah, I know. But if we were going to give Iowa State the nod there, we got to do the same thing possibly.
But Arkansas, you're talking about a team who's been Iowa State's been pretty much a power in the Big 12.
Yeah,
I know it's different, right? SEC, but Arkansas has been trash in the SEC. So we're gonna just assume Arkansas is back, or Arkansas is raising their level to beat.
Just hammer Texas, man. Hammer Texas. What's this? What is this? You got somewhere to be
He
with
told
Dan?
me to get him a coffee. I don't know. I think that's.
Well, get him a coffee. You didn't get him a coffee?
I had to do the show. I don't
That's
know
your
what coffee,
friend.
so-
Is that not your friend?
I'm not a.
Oh, you don't shine shoes no more? Is that what you're saying?
Would hope I never did.
Miami's only -8 against fucking
App State.
App State.
There's a weird thing though. The week after you get hammered by Bama, you're physically beat up, and it's a hard thing.
But
to
does
bounce
that
back.
happen
But
in
it's
week 2?
That's true too.
Yeah. it's-
No, App State maybe this week's ULF yet.
Yeah.
Similar, like too trendy. People are going to be calling for it after what happened in Miami. I think the Notre Dame Toledo one's really interesting because Notre Dame wins a late night Sunday night OT game and has 5 days. They're playing Toledo as one of the better MAC teams, and it's like Saturday at 1:30. That's a little tricky. I think Toledo might be worth a look there.
This might be biased because I'm historically a Penn State hater, but would you put Wisconsin in that fraud category? Or is that just a
I wouldn't because
ugly game?
That's just an ugly game. That's just a Big Ten war, you know. And now I perhaps would put Graham Mertz in that category because I don't see it with him. But I think Wisconsin Penn State was just one of those nasty. It was always going to be a nasty game. Wisconsin
that under
didn't take. they didn't take advantage of when they got down inside the 10, and Penn State ends up winning the game. So great win for Penn State. I think Wisconsin will still be a 9-3, 10-2
But that just
team.
seems like any win Penn State has, they need to win that way. It's never
maybe,
like a
maybe.
confident.
But I mean,
Dotson's
Wisconsin's
a hell
got
of a
one of the best
playmaker receiver, though.
Wisconsin's got one of the best defenses in the country.
Okay.
And that was always going to be a war. And when they got that emergency break glass, that Jahan Dotson, when they're 3rd and 9, they just say, go get somewhere, we'll throw it to you. They probably should use him more, to be honest. But Clifford's not very good. Like Will Levis went to Kentucky, and he lit it up. So I'm thinking they might have made the wrong choice at quarterback. But I think that's a fantastic win for Penn State.
What do you
Week 1, 2, offensive start slow.
Was unbelievable too. They went to champs after and played jump around, and the quarterback's still wearing his fucking sleeve on it. It was amazing.
By the way, the jump around in the stadium, one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was amazing. You know who we owe an apology to? All of us probably. I know I do. Jack Cohn.
Yeah.
look good?
He made some throws that I never fathomed he'd possibly be capable of making.
So that begs
The receivers made the receiver made a great play on the ball. The second one was one of the better throws you'll see in college football this year.
This begs the question: is Wisconsin now just a place quarterbacks go to die? Because you go there, you're going to hand it off, 60% of the time, and you're going to throw to receivers who can't get open. You're going to throw to receivers who aren't electric because they're not recruiting top receivers. And you're in a 1980s playbook. Jack Cohn goes to Notre Dame in one offseason. He looks like a different guy.
I guess unless your name is Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but that was only a 1 year.
No, agree.
Yeah,
No,
that
agree.
was a 1 year.
But I mean, everybody else is. That's my point.
I wonder if this is now the dawning where people realize, I do not want to go to Wisconsin to play quarterback. Like Graham Mertz goes there, he's a 5-star guy, and he looks like he's never played the position before.
I let that Illinois game stick in my head too much.
So you think
Graham Mertz is not.
Do you think Cohn's good?
He was pretty damn good the other
He was
night.
making throws. Like, it wasn't like those easy touchdown throws.
Yeah.
Like he was dropping it right in his basket.
I mean, he's
but-
throwing the ball on a dime 30, 35 yards down the field, and it looked pretty good.
So,
Shout
Brandon,
out
you
Saban.
are very good college football gambler, Mints, too. I'll run actually,
What
everybody
the
in
fuck's
here.
wrong? Wait, what the fuck?
You got to give the guy
Give him
credit.
credit.
Give him credit every once in a while so he doesn't bite your head off. It started as a joke like years ago, but like that famous clip I have of like the list, right?
Right.
It's big teams
Yeah.
off of a loss early in the season playing a far inferior opponent.
I like
so
that
what do
too.
we make of, especially now with the crowds coming back, what do we think of UNC,
I like UNC a lot.
Wisconsin, and there was another one that jumped out too.
UNC, I had UNC start
There's
already.
well, Clemson is an FCS team. You're not going to get a lot of value with that. But so basically find that group of teams off of a big loss like that, right? So Minnesota is another one this week. Lose to a game you're probably supposed to lose,
Yeah.
and then coming back and you're playing the Sisters of the Poor. You think there's it's factual, like they hang it on people.
No, I like where your logic is. I think that makes sense.
The thing I worry about Wisconsin though is can you lay with 24 with Wisconsin even against Eastern Michigan?
I think you can because your defense is just going to choke them out. Your defense might get a score. Your defense is probably going to set you up in great position.
I also think inside of the football number in the first half there, Wisconsin's got to be up 17 at the half, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
They're going to maul them in the trenches.
Okay.
Too.
I was going to say it's going to be much easier to run on them than Penn State.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of great buy low opportunities out there right now, both individually and teams. Wisconsin's a great buy low team right now because I don't think at the end of the day there will be any shame in losing to Penn State. I really don't. I think Sam Howell's a great buy low guy right now. I think betting on Sam Howell. Everybody after Friday night, everybody was like, "Oh, he's not any good. He's not any good." I still think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Spencer Rattler didn't play well either.
I just think now, especially like I know I talked about with Stroud, but I think it's just in general, people now are just way too quick to see one bad game
Right.
and just throw them in the trash.
Well, everybody. The problem
crazy.
is everybody's wait 6 months on that week 1, and everybody watches all of week 1. But your biggest improvement's week 1 to week 2. Last year, week 1, Texas A&M beat Vandy like 16-13. I mean, you're going to see, especially these good coaches. You got to be careful on the not overreacting to week 1 stuff because everybody saw it, if that makes sense.
Didn't they
Did
limit
you-
the hitting in practice too? It was only like 9 full contact practices this offseason?
Yeah,
Or something like that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
got to play into
yeah.
it too, right?
Yeah. What do we make of Ohio State, Oregon? It's 14.5 right now.
I am.
what's the deal with
hammering Ohio
Me
State.
too. I love Ohio
I
State.
love Ohio State, but what's
is
the deal
Thibodeau?
with
What's
Thibodeau?
going? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
We got to find out on Thibodeau. I don't know either, but I don't know. I'm going to wait and see on this one because I don't know. I have no idea.
I think Stroud's going to be a lot more comfortable just 1 at home and 2 just like second start.
Playing a lot better defense this week, though. Even without Thibodeau, Oregon's going to be a better defense than Minnesota.
I mean, you say that, but they also let up. I mean, they let Fresno not hanging on them, but they definitely
Fresno
moved the ball.
absolutely. Fresno has a better offense than who am I talking about?
Minnesota.
Yeah. Fresno has a much better offense than Minnesota. Better quarterback, better, especially once Ibrahim got hurt.
But I mean, he got hurt late in the game.
Hey, mid-third quarter, yeah.
Rivers could go play in the Power 5 too.
No, for sure. No, they have a good offense, but I mean, well, especially with Thibodeau.
I don't think Fresno State's a bad team.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I gave him out my win total. I like him.
I think they should have. Oregon probably needs to beat Fresno State by more than 7. They shouldn't be in a dogfight with
And
them.
losing in the fourth quarter.
But Fresno, Ohio State again was in a dogfight with Minnesota. I think Fresno State's probably a better football team than Minnesota.
It just sets.
I don't think you give Tannen Morgan enough credit.
I think I do. I saw him play.
I don't think you
that
do.
wasn't great. He's
It
not.
wasn't bad.
Eh.
Also, I'm saying I forget they showed his numbers when he came out for the first, and I was actually impressed with how good his touchdown turnover ratio was. Also, a veteran guy, been starting for 3 years.
Yeah.
Minty, did you see that your boy is second Heisman?
Yeah, I gave that out on the blog big yesterday because of what Brandon said. The overreaction says DJ struggled, Sam Howell struggled, and Rattler struggled, and the sports book still had Corral 20-1, not adjusting it, and so that's why I gave it out yesterday. And now he's 5-1. 5-1's a gross overreaction. I thought he should probably be 12 or 15-1. I think 5-1 maybe jumping the gun a little bit on it, but I definitely thought there was value at 20-1. The thing is, I thought Ole Miss looked really good. Louisville was probably 3-9, so that you got to think of that too.
I think the biggest value play right now is Stroud.
Has to be.
2,500.
I like Brandon. Go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead.
I like your logic. You mentioned the Olave bomb at 100-1 after what Devontae Smith did, and at 100-1, which is what he was. I actually props to you. I saw
Olave's
that.
the best player Ohio State has.
Yeah.
Is that what he's going at right now?
Yeah.
I like that as well. We
I like
touched
that.
on it in the summer.
Yeah.
He's going to score 20 touchdowns this year.
And he bailed. I don't know if he bailed out, but he in the second half the other day took over for Ohio State.
Yeah.
He got a couple short passes and went and took him to the house. Bam, game's over. I love Chris Olave. It's just that if he was 10-1, no, probably not. But we just saw a receiver like the seal's broken. A receiver won it last year.
Well, you can't throw a little flyer on Jack Cohn too.
I definitely cannot. I definitely cannot do that. But listen, outside Bryce Young was good. Bryce Young, Matt Corral were both good. Outside of them, name me another good quarterback or big-time quarterback that was really good this week. Sam Howell was not.
Strong.
Spencer Rattler was not. Carson Strong was fantastic. You're right. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good
How
win. They were
did
down
they pay
14-0
I
early
needed
too.
that win total.
I promise you, if you watch that game, I was like, I've been gassing him up all offseason. If you watch the game, the throws that he makes, I'm like, I don't know if anyone else in college football can make some of those throws.
Is he a first-round talent?
Oh, I think so.
I think he's top, maybe. I think a good. If he plays like he did against Cal, he could be 1 overall. I really
They
believe
got
that.
Kansas State next week, I think.
He and I, Big Evan and me, rarely text. So about 11 o'clock on Saturday night, I just get a text. Carson Strong is the best quarterback in the country from him. I don't really see much to deny that. I mean, he's really, really good.
Like that. Obviously, you can point. The one throw he made was otherworldly kind of throw. That was like a Mahomes throw.
Yeah.
He went from opposite hash. It was 50 yards downfield from from other hash to sideline. That's got to be 70 in the air plus, literally in the bucket. And even some of the throws he was making, they had 7-8 drops. They would have laid it on Cal if the receivers could have just caught the ball.
I think he's definitely second to Bailey Zappi at Western Kentucky. That guy.
That offense they run is incredible.
Bailey Zappi.
Great
He
name.
had 7 touchdowns, I think.
What do we think about Cal getting 7 to TCU this week?
I saw it 9.5.
So 9.5.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Week 2 is just there's so many. Week 2 is almost like a second week 1, and it's got so many.
TCU didn't play yet.
So
did
many.
they?
So no.
Am I crazy?
So many good
They
matchups.
played some horrible. They played like a bad FCS team. I forgot who it was, but it was somebody terrible, like Duquesne or it was somebody. Really
What,
bad.
2 weeks ago?
No, TCU played week 1. It was just a really. It was somebody that was awful.
they?
They allowed 3 points. I know.
I didn't see that score at all.
Is anyone going to thank me for Mississippi State winning?
That was. I got to say, Marty, that was a sick money line call.
I thanked you then. I will thank you now publicly. I was looking for anything to change the mojo. I changed my shirt, and then Marty said
We looked at each other. I said, if they stop him here.
he looked on the book. It was plus 430. We took it live. He took it. I took it. Big Ev took it. Everybody in the room took it except for Ben Mintz because he's not a team player. And boom, cashed it 35-34. What a gutsy win in week 1.
Oh,
It was.
beautiful.
I'll say this: when it was 34-21, and you mentioned it, I said I loved it because I've seen that's Louisiana Tech.
Oh, he mentioned it 34-14, but
Yeah.
No, but Louisiana Tech in the last 6 years under Holtz had South Carolina dead, Arkansas dead, and Mississippi State dead, and they just choke at the end. Skip Holtz plays. When you play not to win, you lose. That was a crime against humanity when you're on the ball, when Tech has the ball on Mississippi State's 29 with 50 seconds left, and you settle for a 46-yard field goal in college football. You don't want to win. If you get 2 more first downs, your win probability goes up 30%. That was gutless. I mean, I'm hammering them for it.
Still don't agree with Mincy with that.
You settle for a 47-yarder when you're on the road?
I don't think settle, but I also don't think their offense is good enough to trust them to pass the ball.
Well, I don't know. Kendall kept him in it. He's 6 years. He was transferred from Oklahoma. I thought he was a big reason they had a chance in the game. You can't settle for a 47-yarder in college and freeze the ball like that. I don't know.
Also,
it's unbelievable.
Credit for us for not cashing out because it got close there at the end. It got rough.
Well, you also admitted you literally tried to.
I pressed it.
He hit the
motherfucker.
He hit the eject button.
It was just free money.
It made
It's
sense.
paying out like plus
I didn't want-
350
I
or
didn't want.
something,
I didn't want to double lose. I didn't want to my team lose.
That kind of makes sense.
My gambling karma told me don't do it because it's gonna come
Right.
back. But dude, it was paying me. I would have lost $90 on my winnings. That's nothing.
Yeah, it was paying over 3-1 at that point when y'all were
exactly.
getting plus 430. So, I mean,
I hit cash out and it didn't do anything. I hit cash out again and it started to do something. So I looked down, I hit it, and when I came back, it was still the option. So it just never would go
that
in. For me.
Hoboken setup is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Also, credit to everybody here for one of the locks of the life. Rutgers minus 14.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Easy.
I mean,
Temple
So
stinks.
that's another one. Rutgers -2 or -3 now.
I mean,
against-
Syracuse did get a good win. Syracuse did get a good win, though. They wanted
Carrier Dome hits a little different. Rutgers, though, they play angry on defense,
Yeah.
fundamentally sound. Shiano has them just wrapping up, tackling,
He's just a
driving.
very good coach.
TJ's
Love it. Yeah, TJ's waxing his own dick.
He's
right
having
now.
a seizure back
They
there.
dropped
I
a
told Brandon that
60 burger.
Nobody
Yeah.
scored more points than Rutgers did on Saturday.
Right?
I don't like toss-up games. I kind of really like Rutgers this week.
That's
Even
a-
at Syracuse.
Feels like programs going opposite directions.
It does.
Sometimes you catch that.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
one's going up, one's going down.
Credit to Syracuse. They went on the road and beat a decent MAC team.
Ohio's pretty
by
good.
20.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
Ohio's
20.
pretty good.
They were an underdog, 2-point underdog.
Yeah, they
No,
went.
I took Ohio. I thought it was a trap to take
Ohio
Syracuse.
new coach, though, right?
No.
Holidays?
Solich. No,
Sol-
Marshall's new
Oh,
coach.
Marshall's.
new coach.
The green fuck.
Solich
up.
has been
I
good.
knew a legend left. I'm sorry.
Carrier Dome, though, you go in there, the ears pop.
No,
I don't know.
it's scary. That
Something's weird.
seems like it's that one and the Mississippi State that seems like a trap.
The state thing, too, Leach teams are great underdogs and struggle as favorites. He's been doing that since Texas Tech. Washington State, Texas Tech, when they're underdogs, they're really tough, and he struggles when you're a big
It was
favorite. So
another
that's
toss-up.
something to
To
look
me, it
at
was
this week.
Oh, that's what it was. Syracuse. I'm sorry. Rutgers, NC State, and there's a third.
San Diego State, Arizona. It's
No,
like
there's
one.
a third
It's like
toss-up
one.
that I liked.
If there's one team that we haven't talked about, and this guy has been sucking my dick on chat the whole time, and I'm finally going to talk about him. Emory Jones can't be the guy at Florida.
Oh,
No,
we were talking about
no,
before.
no.
Will Richardson, who they put in for
Anthony.
the fourth, or Anthony Richardson,
Yeah.
who they put in for the fourth quarter, is so much better than Emory Jones. It's a travesty that he wasn't starting from the first.
I think
half.
Anthony Richardson is good enough. Like, he can win a Heisman under a damn
He
well.
was he was electric with the ball.
Not
in his
this one,
hands.
but he can win maybe next year.
and he throws a
is
pretty
really
ball
good.
too. He looks like he has a cannon.
His passing numbers weren't great, but he had 7 carries for 160 yards.
He came in and instantly was like quick touchdown.
And Emory
immediately.
Jones just doesn't. When he decides to throw the ball, it doesn't matter who's in his path. If there's a defender in his path, fine, I'm still throwing the ball. He is terrible.
They got a weird spot. So Florida's got Bama next week coming to Gainesville, and
Right.
Florida's laying 29 against the South Florida
On the
team.
road.
Against the team we saw lose 45-0 to NC State. There's a peek ahead, Rico.
Yeah,
but
but
how could you take South Florida? They're so bad.
And I don't think. Now, I didn't watch a second of it, but just scoreboard watching. Florida's offense didn't look so great, did it?
No,
It looked a lot better when they put the
I
backup quarterback in.
think that-
No, when they put Richardson in, it did give them a huge boost. 'cause
I
they-
think
yeah.
Florida's got to get. I like the first half in that one. I worry a little bit about the back door and the peek ahead and pull the starters and let's rest for Bama.
But you're right. They got to get the quarterback.
Florida's got to come fucking smash South Florida. I like the team total. I like the first half. I really think Florida's going to come back because I hate South Florida. They're so bad.
Does B-Walk respect South Carolina? No. No.
I mean, they played freaking Eastern Illinois.
I mean, I
Cool
respect
story.
I respect their fan base.
Shout out Zeb Nolan.
They're an elite fan base, but no, not as a football team. They're bad. Is Kentucky for real? I think Kentucky's going to be pretty damn good. All right, let's talk pro football because that's this week too.
Real quick, do you think Alabama is minus 45 against Mercer or more?
More.
Mercer just won 69-0 just for the record.
Against Point University that doesn't have a logo on the app.
Fucking Point University.
The third was.
I mean, that's point. They didn't give up a point to Point University. That's what they major in.
The third was Tennessee
What about them?
in a small favorite against. I'm sorry, Pitt as a small favorite at Tennessee.
I could see that being a close game.
I like Pitt a lot.
I
love Pitt.
I try to avoid the small ones. I like 3 really small guys.
Tennessee was trash. They won 38-6, but they got up 14-0 and couldn't do anything. I think Pitt's a veteran quarterback too. I think Pitt's going to be
Pitt's
good.
another. It seems like giant crusher too.
They're
Pitt goes
good
to
underdog,
steal
bad
somebody,
favorite
too, yeah.
too.
All right, what about pro football? I know we got the Bucs and the Cowboys on Thursday night. I'm not going to lie to you. I've looked at all the college lines. I've started to get my strategy ready. I don't know what to do with pro lines. I haven't really looked at the pro lines. I'm going to, but I haven't prepared a strategy yet because I'm scared of it.
And that line was 7.5. The Bucks, it's already at 8.
Dak's fine though. I said out loud they were hyping up the shoulder thing just to rest him. He's good to go. That shoulder thing's overblown. He's good to go.
I kind of like the Cowboys going in to at least cover and maybe make it close. But I mean, I could also see the Bucks winning by like 3 touchdowns.
My first instinct was Cowboys 8. I was like, with Dak back, like a kind of momentum coming a little off of some hard knocks, but then you just start thinking about the Bucs and how fucking good they are, and you're like, shit.
Bucs no matter what.
I appreciate the fact that Bucs won the Super Bowl. All right, and I appreciate the fact that they're very, very good.
What a
Do you,
statement.
Brandon?
But I mean, this is a team that still can lose in the regular season. This is not a team that went through like 15-1. This is a team that went through 11-5. I mean, they're a good team. I don't think they're like an all-time elite team. I wouldn't be scared of them with I don't know if I trust them with every number that
I
big.
feel like they got better.
I think they're gonna be better, way better this year because last year COVID, Brady, lots of changes. This year they got all their starters back. They got that whole front seven that's freaking loaded on D. Good old Antonio Brown's and Kim. I don't know.
Yeah, their defense
good.
is like still underrated somehow, and they were like borderline 500 until like halfway through
they were
the year.
7-5.
Then they figured their shit out and were kind of unstoppable.
Yeah, no, they were unstoppable. They were fantastic.
I'm not saying you're going to go undefeated, but like week 1 coming off a Super Bowl with this team, pretty damn good.
And but I think the Cowboys. This is an overs club game. Cowboys are going to be able to score against anybody. I
52
think.
seems kind of low.
Cowboys are going to be able to score against anybody, but the Cowboys' defense. I mean, that was a historically bad defense last year. How much has it improved? I mean, Micah Parsons, a couple of little signings here or there. I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. I don't know. I don't have a read on it, so that's why I threw it out to you boys.
I just feel like they're in a position where the Bucs should come out firing. Like I just think everything that Mincy kind of talked about last year, like that gelling they need to do, like they've done it now. And the Cowboys are still kind of like not trying to piece it together, but like obviously Dak coming off the injury. Still going to take a little time to get back. Like Doc, he didn't play in the preseason at all.
New defense. I don't know about Dan Quinn. We'll see.
They're still shaking their rust off a little bit. Where the Bucs are like they brought back everybody.
Yeah.
We don't have an ad today?
Not yet.
Nope.
One line that I do love right now before it moves, and it will. Bills -6.5 at home against Pittsburgh. That's going to move to at least 7.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. I already know who I love. I love the fucking Panthers -5.
I like that. The Sam Darnold Super Bowl against the rookie QB on the road. I like that logic.
I just think Darnold's pretty bad.
No,
I know that
he's gonna be
makes
great.
sense of like the Jet. Like you talk about the Mets suffering, the Jets suffering is way worse, and you would think Carolina's going to get a shot to stick it to him. I just think Darnold is that bad.
I think he's in that system. I think
he's not
going to
have to do everything. He's got a better coach who actually knows what he's doing. McCaffrey's back. He's healthy. Robbie Anderson's due for like
Former
a
Jet,
really
too, to
breakout
fucking
year.
stick
Yeah.
it to him.
I mean, they're gonna do something.
You're right. All right.
Week 1 at least.
The Giants have moved to +3.
That scares the shit out of me.
Dude, Teddy Bridgewater, I don't have his stats on hand, but against the spread, week
Unbelievable.
1,
Yeah, he's the best.
on the road,
No,
he's like best of all time.
Well, his career, he's the best of all time.
Yeah.
He's
just
a
the
spread
fact that
quarterback.
that's going to be like a public dogs. I feel like come to die because the Giants got like a lot of the moves they made in the offseason. They're getting a ton of hype. The last like probably 2 or 3 weeks, I've been thinking about the Giants a lot. And it's scaring me a lot.
My favorite pick of week 1 is under in Patriots Dolphins. 2 bad quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
A rookie quarterback against a bad quarterback who's practically a rookie, and Tua. The offenses I don't think will be near what they should be.
What is that at right
and
now?
43.5.
And both defenses are going to be pretty good. Dolphins defense will be really good. I like under there.
That's like a 21-6
I had a
game.
theory that I wanted to try out this year potentially with the NFL. I want to take every week take the highest total over and the lowest total under.
Ooh. Okay.
And see how it goes. Maybe a little experiment this year.
My strategy going in, if we're talking strategies, I just decided I'm going to try it. I'm going to identify the 5 worst teams in the league going in, and I'm going to bet against them in week 1. I'm going to see how it does.
So you're gonna have Jacksonville then against Houston.
Well, here's the
That's a tough one, yeah.
that game.
I think I like Jacksonville.
It's a sketchy line too. It's 2 and a hook.
Well, that game, if there's anybody in legal survivor or suicide pools, and if it's a rebuy, I'm not saying hammer Houston, but if you're in a rebuy survivor league, take a look at Houston, because this might be the only game they have a chance of winning all year. If you could just repop it, I mean, if you're going down the nuts for like a week 16, week 17 survivor league and have Houston out of the way and saved up your everything, like that's
Who's playing QB?
That's a great play.
We should do a show.
Tyrod Taylor.
I wish we should do a Pick Central show. Survivor.
Hold on. He's not getting off that easy.
Tyrod Taylor.
No. Remember the discussion last week?
Yeah.
I'm still waiting from the comment.
They already announced he's inactive.
It's going to be fourth quarter. He's like, well,
He might come
we're not out of it. Deshaun Watson, he's up there in the booth.
There is a Survivor League based out of Greektown Casino. Kelly in Vegas was promoting it last week. If you're in the Michigan area, get into the Greektown Casino. You can enter the Survivor pool. Legally.
The one spread I saw was Packers 4 against the Saints. That seems a little low.
Well, it's interesting. The Saints picked Jacksonville out of all their home game options because Rodgers is 3-4 in his career in Florida, and it'll be hot, and so they think that might help the Saints a little bit.
What were their other options?
I guess Houston. I mean, it wasn't Dallas because there was some concert there, and they would have had to Houston on like Monday because the Houston had as Jacksonville Sunday.
Okay.
But Jacksonville, they're going for the Heat thing, and Green Bay struggling there. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I like the Saints, but it's a weird one.
Wait, people are ragging on me now in the comments section for that survivor pool strategy.
These people are.
How is that a bad strategy? If it's a rebuy league, I'm not saying if it's one and done. If it's a rebuy league, fucking take Houston.
Some people don't want to rebuy.
Well, then fuck you. Then you don't have a chance to win probably in the end.
You all right?
No.
When did they switch? I'm looking now. We only get. I know it was last year too. I'm pretty sure. We only get one Monday night game now.
Yeah, I hate that. Ravens Raiders. Yeah, this year they switched it. I agree with you, Rico. The doubleheader was fun.
I didn't even know that. You just ruined my day. I kind of like that Monday night. Going to sleep watching two teams when the sun's still shining out west.
And you get that early game at like 7 instead of 8:30. That always feels good.
Yeah, that was really good. And you got two different. And we always just overreact to the broadcast crews the first Monday night.
Yep.
Two different broadcast crews. Oh, these guys should be the main guy. Whatever. Y'all want to do picks, and then we'll circle back to some college football discussion, some pro football discussion. We haven't discussed baseball at all. How are the Mets doing, Rico?
Yesterday was maybe a season-ending loss.
Yeah?
Yeah, bad loss at Washington. We had them at Luz Diaz. Not good. I thought they kind of crawled me all the way back in. Still with, the bumpers on, a little worried, but they thought they had it. Yesterday was a big one.
All right, let's do picks.
Yankees are a disaster, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what?
Went to the game yesterday. It was one of the worst games I've ever been to.
You're just hanging out with famous people now?
I don't know why I can't hang out with
He's a
famous
cloud
people.
I didn't say anything.
I'll say it. He's a cloud chaser.
The man asked me to go to the game, and legend seats 3 rows behind the home plate. And everyone's like, oh, he's a cloud chaser.
Well,
sorry,
it's one thing if you go. It's another thing if you gram it.
I also didn't take the picture.
How'd you get
Someone
in touch?
took the picture
How are you
for
friends with him?
His Instagram.
Who'd you go to the game with?
Wait, you just – how does that make sense?
Tyler Cameron, who's possibly the best-looking guy.
He's just a great-looking guy.
Yeah.
Oh, his Instagram. What does that mean?
Where's Instagram friends? And then he was like, we would talks like Trey Turner. I never met Trey Turner, but we talk in the DMs. And then Tyler Cameron, my bad, guys.
Does this happen to everybody else's Instagram?
Yeah, but
do you
much
slide
different
into their
level.
DMs or do they slide into yours?
No, it's we'll just he'll like something and I'll comment on something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how the game's played.
We all do it to an extent. You know what I'm buying?
You're the big. You do minor league plays.
I'm buying a lot of minor league players right now. They follow me, direct follow back. Hey, thanks for the follow. They're like, oh, I love you. You do talk a little. You make it, humanize it. But I'm like, Citi Field, when you make it, don't forget me. And they're like, okay. Yeah.
It was very.
I got a lot of seeds planted in the minors right now. They're shutting down minor league teams. I'm building up minor league teams.
Going out with him though, it was very funny. I'd get fucking drunk guys coming up to me what do you got today?
Yeah.
And it's just every single girl comes up to him. Yeah. It was very disappointing.
All right, let's see the standings and the weekend and all of that. I think we're all in pretty good shape. Although, Rico, how have you lost 10 units already this month?
Crazy.
Well, I get the rule. I'm not trying to change
Look,
the rules.
hold on, before you say that, look at the college football records on this show. Fantastic.
I
mean-
I was 1-6 on Friday too, so that's a huge.
But I'm
turnaround.
really up 11.
47
awful
plays.
feeling.
Yeah.
47 plays.
Like, I get it. I get why we only do one unit, but the big ones I bury, and I think that's the way a lot of people gamble. You don't bet the same on every game.
That's fine, but I
get it for the records. I'm not trying to.
I can't let you guys do 7 units in the last
No.
day.
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I totally
And
get it.
I was going to say is if we let like you do like 1 2-unit play a day.
Wait, but you can do like you
So
can do
you put some
No, but Mincy
restrictions
has
on
a good
it.
you
point.
can do the pleaser bet if you like last night. Ole Miss was plus 250 today. If you thought you could do pleaser bets, spreads, money lines, and first half. So
Yeah.
you want to get 4 units on a game, you can go that.
Well,
route.
I took Rutgers every which way.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so maybe we'll explore.
I'm not trying to.
we'll
I
explore
get
the
it.
2 options.
I'm just telling you. You're gonna look and
You
be
saw
like,
what Big Ev tried to do to catch Marty.
Yeah, but then it's
Yeah.
tough. Then it's like, oh, then if
tried to do.
I tweet out Mississippi State plus 450 and live, it's like we can't count that.
No,
too.
you can't. But still a hell of a pick.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Right. It turns into a thing. I'm just saying the way I gamble, all pre-flop, I do hammer my big ones. I'm 11 units up in college football right now.
By the way, I told you Saturday I would go to bat for you.
I know
to-
you would.
to count that.
I appreciate
I
that.
would go to bat for you because I took it too. But I would let you have it because you're the one that said, hey, let's do this. All right, let's see the standings again so I can say who goes first. I think Smitty was in first place. I don't know how that
Yeah,
happened.
chat's not saying I do much, but
Smitty's not even, he's
Yeah.
barely ever here. I don't even see his
Smitty
picks.
is against the chat
I've
today.
never even
Yeah.
seen his picks.
Fuck
How
you
does he
guys.
even, how's he up 7 units?
yeah. TJ, do I not text you my picks?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. You should be tweeting your picks out also.
Okay.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
do text me your picks.
Okay, fair.
All right.
That's fair.
And tag Pick Central when you do it. Okay,
And the
Smitty.
Barstool Sports book. Don't be shopping.
I always tweet out my bet with Smitty's. Don't worry about it, but I will get out every single bet.
Smitty's
I
the guy shopping line.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, go.
We got a big Atlanta series against the Nationals. I mean, if you can just get parlay, told Big T to get a parlay for like the entire series. Atlanta just beats on teams they should beat up on. So you got that. The Diamondbacks, that's Spencer Howard under K's because he stinks. He absolutely stinks.
If his Ks are set at 0, there's no chance you're going to win that under. Oh, that's an O.
I would assume that that's
see.
over. Yes.
Okay.
He absolutely stinks. Diamondbacks first 5. I mean, he is awful. Should be Spencer Howard under. And the bet with Smitty Parlay, I believe it's Aaron Nola K's, Bryce Harper hit, Andrew McCutcheon hit against the Brewers.
By the way, boys, we're going to have Angelina on the show this week.
Yeah,
If she's going to go 11-1, we got to.
and she tweeted out the picks before the games.
Right,
There
it
was no
wasn't-
bullshit. So like, I would definitely we gotta hear her out.
I've never met her, so I'm going to have to go introduce myself.
She's
And
betting Delaware -6. I mean, we gotta hear what the process is.
Fighting blue hens.
she was.
Talk about money in the crumbs. Angelina, help yourself to a seat. Let
Yeah.
me hear what you got.
She just comes in and just beats the shit out of us every month.
It's fine if she's winning. I'm in.
Yeah, we'll get her in. Who was second? Oh, I'm second. Okay, so I just got 3 baseball plays. Going back and betting baseball after a weekend of college football is
Such a
Calm down.
cock.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like I work at Barstool now. I used to work at Radio Shack making $8 an hour. It'd be like going back and working at Radio Shack tomorrow. From this
Radio
from
Shack
this side.
definitely doesn't exist anymore.
It does not.
Yes.
Doesn't exist.
The old Moonlight Graham.
Royals money line, Rays money line, and I agree with Smitty. Huge series for the Braves. They got to come out and handle business against a bad team. Braves -1.5. Those are my picks. I believe Big Ev. I might have gotten the order mixed up. Let's go Big Ev.
And I'm also on the Rays. I think that's couple. I'm fading a couple backbreaking losses last night. After with the Rays did the Red Sox last night on them. I'm also on the Marlins money line at home catching 150. I didn't give out the over. I think it's probably an over game as well, but I like the Marlins. I'm on the Brewers because I can't stand Aaron Nola, Smitty.
Why?
Every time I bet
Neither
him,
can I.
What an odd player to hate.
because he just fucks me every time.
He does.
Shit out of
Every
him
time I
yesterday, too.
believe him, he fucks me, so I'm fading him. And on the Orioles Royals
appreciate
over
that.
9.5.
All right, Marty Mush.
Okay, so I'm on the Yankees -1.5. Garrett Cole's the only one that can win a game for the Yankees. I'm also on the parlay today for the short porch. It's over K's and Cole, and then Yankees. I got Connecticut -8.5. They are
Why don't you tell him what sport that is? Because he doesn't. It's Connecticut Sun. It's the
WNBA.
WNBA.
Yeah, I asked and you just didn't respond.
I'm moving around. Busy. Yeah, -8. It's question marks. I didn't see the question marks.
I host 4 shows.
Dude, White
Texas
Sox
telecamera.
have to get their shit together.
Yeah, that's why
Because
I
they-
took them today.
They're
Yeah,
showing cracks.
they are dominant when they actually want to show up and play, but fucking A.
You know who else is faded pretty quick, too, is the A's.
A's and the Padres and
Well,
the Reds.
I'll touch on the Padres in a second.
I also have the over 9.5 because combined it's 970. All right, the both of them.
All right, 1 minute. Ben Mintz.
I'll be quick. LA Angels are like plus 300 today, so I just took them because the odds are insane. Today's minus 150, and I got the Astros at home laying a run and a half against the Mariners.
Rico Bosco.
Too many runs on a Tuesday parlay. The Indians money line, Blue Jays money line, and I agree with Ben. You have to take the Angels money line. The Padres are doing everything they can to not make the race. Give me the Angels.
too many runs on a Tuesday looks weird.
Plus
Tim wrote.
Tim wrote. It's plus 260 plus 2.65 on the year.
All right, there we go. College football. Got that. Got the Brandon Walker College Football Show later. Mush the line every day at 11. Rico will be back in for Pick'em on Wednesday.
Sling
Tomorrow.
TV.
It's quick. This is a quick week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Got to do the research tonight.
Oh, they'll be
Recording
doing
tomorrow.
advisors tomorrow, I think.
Yep.
Stu Fine will be
Stu.
here.
We're hitting the road this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to Michigan, baby. Going to Ann Arbor for Washington, Michigan. I think that show's at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. Going to be fantastic. NFL starts Thursday night. NFL Sunday. Never stops, baby.
Barstool Fantasy Football Draft tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, too.
It's an auction?
Yeah,
That's
as of
good.
right now, but it
Okay.
may be switching. We might
That would be a disaster.
We're rethinking that.
Do you think us doing an auction?
Yeah, we're getting away from it.
Okay, all right. The Yak is up next. That was Pick Central. Thanks, boys.